Frankie Corrado joins us now. Frankie, McDavid says nothing has really changed when it comes to his contract. So should Oilers fans be worried about McDavid's lack of urgency when it comes to signing a new deal in Edmonton?
Listen, every day that goes by, I think fans have more of a right to worry if Connor McDavid is going to sign an extension with the Edmonton Oilers, and that's understandable for them. But this is something that can change very quickly. Connor McDavid picks up the phone. He says, I'm ready to do it. He's going to determine the years. He's going to determine the dollar amount. And ultimately, he'll decide how long he wants to be an Edmonton Oiler. But the thing that remains constant is that Connor McDavid has not moved off his position of wanting this team to be a winner now and into the future. And while the Edmonton Oilers have a very good chance to win the Stanley Cup this year, the same chance that 7 or 8 teams in the NHL have, the bigger question is, if you're going to attach yourself to this for another 4, 5, 6, 7 years, do you have a chance to win a Stanley Cup again and again and continue this run? And I think that's the big question that Connor McDavid wants to see answered. We just haven't seen moves. We haven't seen moves around the league. We haven't seen it with the Edmonton Oilers. But ultimately, if nothing has changed around him, I don't know how much his position necessarily is going to change. Connor McDavid might want to wait a little longer before he puts pen to paper.
Yeah, and that's a great point, too. It's not just one Stanley Cup that he wants multiple. So McDavid, he opened camp on a line with Andrew Mangiapane and David Tomasek. Are you convinced the Oilers have done enough to show McDavid they'll be contenders in the long term, or you just, like you said, haven't seen those moves?
No, I'm not convinced that they've done enough in the long term. And I think there's one thing that maybe people haven't pointed out yet that might be a glaring hole, or will be a glaring hole for the Edmonton Oilers after this season, and it's Mattias Ekholm. He's going into the last year of his contract. He's 35 years old. He's put on some hard miles, and that's the guy that really holds that entire blue line together. As much as Darnell Nurse has played well at times, and Evan Bouchard is an offensive dynamo, without Mattias Ekholm, that's a very different looking blue line, not to mention the lack of moves that they've made in the net. And up front, we'll see. It hasn't been much as far as what they've done, but they still have a really good core nucleus group of players up front, so I'm not overly worried about that. But with Mattias Ekholm's contract expiring, uncertainty around the goaltending position, it's fair to say that there really hasn't been that much done to really convince Connor McDavid that this is going to be something that churns out championship run after championship run. And that is something that he'll have to take into account when he eventually does or does not sign an extension.
Yeah, plenty to take into account here. At least the Oilers know how to get to back-to-back trips to the Cup final. And now they're listed as the second most likely team to win the Cup on FanDuel this season. The only team with better odds, no surprise, the Panthers, who beat them in both of the previous trips.